And welcome back, folks. This is game number 4 of what feels like infinity. If I could spit out the word, I would. An infinite amount of games. You know what? I quit. I'm just gonna call it a career right now. So apparently I can't say the word with the letter I. Nonetheless, Billy Adams, alongside my co-host, analyst, the voice of reasoning, and Mr. Michael Zanetti, also behind the camera doing the magic. And making magic in memories is our producer, Mr. Jonathan Torres. We've got a little skill center action that we saw yesterday. They won by 9 points in their Game 2 contest against a triple threat team out of shout out to the Heat of Miami, who we did not see yesterday. So triple threat is new, skill center's familiar, and so far, Mike, kind of had some lopsided ball. I thought the last game was going in the right direction, but defensively it was more of a show there than it was on the offensive side.
There was a lot of missed shots, and you look at last game, there was a lot of good defense, so hopefully some more offense in this one. But overall, I mean, all these games have been close at one point. It's just a matter of which team pulls away.
And Jaden Dryden pulling up and pulling away on that layup. Dryden had 10 points and 12 rebounds in yesterday's contest. Very instrumental in that second half. That step-back jumper coming from Jaden Horton off the mark. An offensive rebound, a putback, unsuccessful, tipping out of bounds, somehow saving it is the triple threat. Here comes the fast break opportunity. Jamaris going up, and Jamaris Conyers gets on the board early. Boy, they are complete opposite of game number 3 that we saw moments ago.
Well, that was just a possession that went out of bounds, and it looks like this hardcore man-to-man defense is starting to show that they have caused problems not only today, but yesterday we saw it. And hopefully Skill Center can get off to a quicker start. It was kind of that morning lag, if you would, and they missed a couple shots, but they got in rhythm. Like you said, they won by 9, close to double digits. They love to play fast, physical. They can shoot. They've done a lot of great things so far.
And that was a great shot by Rafael Diaz. It's Diaz joined by Gage Merriman, Jonathan Gonzalez, Corey Galliano, and Jaden Horton out there representing the triple threat. You see, Vernon Lee was a show stealer in the second half of yesterday's win, had 3 consecutive threes and a capitalizing dunk that put an exclamation point on what was an outstanding performance by this Skill Center squad. Up top, it's Davian Kindred working alongside Devontae Spears, and you saw Jaden Dryden earlier, as well as Jamaris Conyers. That is your 5 for the Skill Center going up against a strong Miami squad thus far. Conyers on the money, falls off short. Here's an offensive board to 3, and a second chance opportunity by Vernon Lee is successful. So Miami looking to respond up top. Gage Merriman. Folks, we knew this show was going to be entertaining, but this game has not disappointed. A spin and you're in foul, but it was an offensive foul.
I thought it was an and one. That looked like a good move.
I thought it was an and one as well.
He had a little chicken wing, I think that was it.
Plot twist, a little too much elbow on that jumper, and it leads to a Skill Center possession. So we go up top. That's going to be Davian Kindred working. He's guarded by Merriman. Vernon Lee, we know he's athletic, and he draws the foul there. I think it was on Jaden Horton. And it was.
This is going to be a competitive game. We talked about it before we went on the air, but two teams that love to run the point, fast pace. We haven't seen the triple threat yet, but from the size that they possess, I mean, we can only assume.
How about Vernon Lee taking the confident jumper? That was a good look for Lee. Got to get the confidence going early. Here's the triple threat squad. How about repaying the favor? Jaden Horton gets himself on the board.
And both these teams can shoot. We saw yesterday, Skill Center, again, a slower start, but they just started connecting from deep. And, I mean, that's kind of the game it's going to be, a battle of open shots. Who's going to get the better look?
That was a solid look there coming, and the second chance for Jaden Dryden. What was described as a superhero name by our producer Jonathan Torres makes a superhero move to the basket. No secret identity needed. His identity, get a rebound, get a basket. Here comes this Miami squad. I'm sure there's a lot of messy fans out there, and that was a travel violation. Jaden Horton very confused on the play, as we will have some substitutions. It looks like 3 of Jaden Vigo coming in, the 5 of Derek Q, and 22 and Dylan Jackson checking in as well. Throw-in will be responsible is Jamaris Conyers. Conyers up top. He's working with Devontae Spears. Spears rotating.
Ooh.
Motion. Oh, my goodness. He's got motion. How about Devontae Spears?
That was a nice move. You just go driving right inside, around a defender. Why not? A little layup.
Teams are not pushing the issue right now on the fast break. They're just pushing the issue on their sets. The half-court offense from both teams, mightily impressive to start. Rafael Diaz going up, spinning again. Can't finish, just off the side iron.
I look like a little couple steps there.
And I wouldn't disagree with that. Here's another spin. I'm surprised they're not getting motion sickness from this. How about throwing it up? I think Lee just threw it out in desperation. I think he felt the contact and tried to draw the foul.
Regardless, I mean, that's a good look.
Here's a deep look. Tip up, not in, taken away. I think Vigo had it, and it was snatched away by Conyers. Boy, it went from slowing down to picking up to slowing down, and I mean, the intensity is just riveting. Under 11 minutes remaining in half number one. Near cherry pick opportunity there for Lee. Good defense, but some open space, and you can't leave Darren Koo open, apparently. That shot is pure.
Huge shot. They were already down 5. That cuts it to 2, and you don't want to go down against this skill center squad. They have very physical defense, and they'll make you pay.
Spears met by 4 defenders in the paint. Devontae Spears just fighting off every single player of this Miami squad. And they'll actually call a foul. That's going to be on Rafael Diaz. That ball flying back. There's Devontae Smart.
Smart play there.
Spears will take it up court, guarded by Vigo. Little spin at the mid-range, goes in, and that's stolen by Dylan Jackson. In transition we go. Darren Koo had that last 3. That jumper off the front iron into the stands. And unfortunate for Jaden Vigo, it was off.
Got some talking on the benches already.
I actually think we had a foul, too. I think Dylan Jackson got called for a foul.
Well, I mean, you have that competitiveness in the sport of basketball. You're going to have some back and forth with the officiating, and that's been kind of going on all weekend.
We saw Mosen Hemmings. He checked in. The only man on the bench. We had Mekhi White yesterday as well. Mekhi White, along with Andreas Jackson, not here, a part of the Skill Center squad. So it's just Mosen Hemmings, the lone man on the bench. A 2-point contest in what has been an entertaining and action-packed first half. And Conyers, Jamaris Conyers making himself known. He didn't score much yesterday, just 6 points. He's already got 4. Here come the triple threat. That's Gonzalez going up. Gonzalez. I think they're going to count it in 1.
They should, indeed. It was a nice little finish. They went through the contact, and wow. I mean, back and forth basketball. The good thing here is, I'm really not good, but for triple threat, what I look at is how fast-paced the skill center offense works. And when we're talking about a game of runs, you got to figure out how to slow this team down, because if they're going to pressure you with defense from half court, you have to understand that there's going to be a time where they could go up on a run. So you got to be able to respond to that.
That was the first basket made for Gonzalez on that 3-point opportunity. First basket as well for Mosen Hemmings. 17-14. They're trading away these baskets. That's an open jumper. And that one is just off the mark. Gonzalez fights for it, and it's going to go. Well, I thought it could have been staying with triple threat, but it's going to go back.
I don't know. The officials got the better eye there.
A weird angle for sure. Under 9 minutes remain, we approach the halfway point in this first half. Still anybody's ball game, and a travel violation. He just walked a little too much there.
Yeah, you got to put the ball on the ground first before putting that first foot on the ground, and he knows it too. Just shaking his head.
And they move so quickly, honestly. It's just second nature.
Sometimes you're too fast for it.
Right? Nonetheless, Vernon Lee, a really athletic and really stylized player, could get it done going under the rim, outside the paint, pretty much wherever he wants to. And getting it done in the paint right there was Jackson. The second chance opportunity. He gets it again. Jackson's second offensive rebound. Does it lead to something? And it will, because he's fouled.
Hurt his wrist on that play.
They're going to call that on Jamaris Conyers. The closeout unsuccessful. It will lead to 3 shots coming for Jaden Horton. Unfortunate there. I think those are always the most frustrating fouls because you're in momentum going forward and you almost can't stop yourself.
Looking at last game, especially, there was a lot of whistles. And when you're in these kind of style games, I'm actually surprised that there's not an outlier stat that I haven't seen yet, right? Like, normally it's something you're picking out to why the score is the way that it is, but honestly, it's just been 2 evenly matched teams going head-to-head, and just a lot of trading baskets, a few turnovers here and there, but that's a part of the game. I mean, both teams are learning from mistakes, and again, very good teams here. I feel like Triple Threat needs to be aware of skill center ability to just absolutely go on those runs, because we saw it yesterday with just how much they were able to get up by with that slow start to the game. So it's interesting how this game will go.
Successful trip to the line, 17-16 is our score. 1-point contest. Jaden Dryden sat down for a moment. Devontae Spears checking back in for the skill center. We are halfway here in half number 1. It's been nothing short of entertaining. We can see the crowd starting to pack in just a little bit. They know how big this state championship game is. Here we go. Conyers working up top, guarded by Vigo. And once again, just getting too much footwork with the ball in hand. It's a travel. Under 8 minutes remain here in half number 1.
You know, normally you call me the timeout maestro. And I'm not too sure when you call a timeout when you're playing as good as you are for both teams. So give them credit. I mean, look at the full court press now from Skill Center. So it's going to be fun.
Going to be curious to see if either one of these teams will pull away from one another. This is what we saw in yesterday's matchups, especially in the first half. Everybody seemed evenly matched in half number 1. It was half number 2 that was the deciding factor. As it looks like we got a foul.
Over the back.
Over the back, that goes on Dylan Jackson of the triple threat. That's his second.
And you got the sub.
Definitely got to hit the sub. You don't want to get in foul trouble too early here.
Remember,
Jackson,
5 fouls, too, is a little quicker to get out of the game.
It is a little quicker. You get 3 fouls in a half, and you're done, at least for that half.
It's funny. We saw a player get 4 yesterday, and he ended up staying the whole game. Didn't foul out.
Didn't foul out. It's a rarity. Sometimes your coach just knows. He knows your style. He knows how you play, and he knows it's just an outlier. How about the passing? Koo receiving the end from Galliano.
And now we'll get a timeout.
Now we'll get a timeout.
I love how I talked about it, and it happened.
That was an excellent rotation of passes, though, from one end to the other. The literal scheme of triple threat. 1, 2, 3. And they were able to get from point A to point B. It started from Horton with Galliano. It ended with Darren Koo getting to the line. And an 18-17 ball game. And now the triple threat, they're breathing a little life.
I think that's the timeouts for, you know. They have felt the presence of triple threat and their ability to continue their fast-paced style. So what a pass. You mentioned it, the bounce pass right in between. And, again, the quicker team is going to win here. It's just a matter of making the least amount of mistakes, making the most of your opportunities in terms of your open shots, and try and make the other team make a mistake, whether it's your full court defense, whether it's a trap. It could be the smallest of things, but even a hand in your face or, you know, something to make a change. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Halfway through. Now under 7 minutes remaining here in half number 1. And up top you see it's Davian Kindred guarded by Darren Koo. Man-to-man matchup here primarily in this game. Gonzalez applying pressure as Spears trying to retain. Hemmings has the screen, going nowhere, but somehow finding some space is Spears. It'll be Hemmings up top. That long 3 from Vernon Lee. Off the mark, rebound by Galliano. Here comes Miami. That long 3 in the hands. It might have been tipped by Hemmings. Down the lane, Conyers goes up, and Conyers is going to finish that one and go to the line. So that foul committed by Galliano should be a team fourth. Galliano with his first, and a three-point possession potentially coming for Conyers. So Jamaris Conyers, again, he had 6 points the other day. He's already got 6 with a chance to make it 7. And there it is. So a great start there by Jamaris Conyers. Here comes Koo up top. You see the half-court pressure being applied already. Up top, it's Kindred. Going up is Koo. And Koo with a strong big man finish.
You'll see these teams run. They'll go fast pace here.
Oh, Hemmings. Hesitation with a turnaround. Conyers gets it back. Tried to get it. Gets his own miss. Puts it back. And Conyers has 9.
One thing you'll see, Billy, if these teams start to go quick, they're going to try and get you off guard.
And Miami caught off guard by that timeout. 22-20 is the advantage. Gonzalez working up top. Going up against 2. Hemmings with great defense, and Kindred has the board. Wasting no time, Kindred goes up, nearly into the stands, and he'll take a little walk back to the line. He's going to take a trip and get some free throws.
These two teams are very similar in terms of how they score points. It's in the paint. They both can shoot from the outside, but it's drive and kick. And that's kind of been the mindset here, but you're finding ways to get inside. You're getting the N1s. This time it's free throws, but honestly, we have to note that the one thing that I love the skill center, ability to press. But that could come back to haunt them, because if you're playing so physical defense, when you're close to somebody that way, if you can't get hands on somebody, he's going to blow right past you.
So 23-20 is the score. Kindred able to make one attempt, misses the second attempt. And now with 5.5 remaining, it's still anyone's ball game here with the triple threat and another foul coming on the floor. So Conyers going to be called for that one. That's his second foul. Remember, 7 points for Conyers and a couple offensive boards. It'll be Kindred taking a seat, and coming back out is Jaden Dryden. Again, something to keep in mind with the skill center team. They are down 2 players from yesterday. So the roster just a little bit more thin. I think we had some confusion about the ball. I'm not really sure what happened.
No, I turned it over. I'm not too sure exactly what happened, whether he stepped on the line or it was an illegal screen or something. But they pointed the other way.
Here we go. It's Conyers. He'll take a deep 3. And nearly had it was Conyers. They forego the fast-paced transition to slow it down. Up top working, that's Horton. Horton, a step-back jumper over Conyers. And Spears with the board. Here comes Spears, slicing down the lane and finishing. Hello, Devontae Spears, we see you. Here comes the triple threat. Oh, and he walked just a little bit.
I don't know.
That was pretty close. 25-20, and all of a sudden, Mike, slowly but surely, we're watching the advantage inch towards the skill center way. There's Dryden, and Jaden Dryden with the turnaround into the lane. Here comes Galliano. Galliano goes up. Dryden with the board. Here's a commanding potential lead.
Good steal.
From 7, but a nice steal. Back the other way. Gonzalez goes up. And Gonzalez is off the mark. Going up and in and finishing. That was Merriman.
Now you'll see the lead start to creep away. 27-22 now.
The largest lead of this contest was recently 7. It's now 5 thanks to a recent Gage Merriman shot. There's Spears going up. Can't get it. But Conyers is right there to follow through. Conyers has 9. And there he is again, Merriman, right down the lane.
Trading buckets. I mean, talk about high-scoring, fast-paced basketball.
I mean, these players are wasting no time getting from one end to the other.
A very different outcome in terms of what the last game we had.
Coaches obviously got the conditioning right because they are not wasting a breath. Here's Conyers. He's got 9 to match the jersey. Smart. It's Spears, and Spears with a nice step back. 32-24. We have now amassed the largest lead of the game. Triple threat, gonna need an answer. Instead, here's an answer for Skill Center. It's a 2-on-1, 2-on-2. Going up is Dryden, and Dryden extends to double digits. Another steal. Hemmings gets it back. No one to be found. Spears wide open from three. Off the mark. Dryden can't get it. This should be an open lane. Going up, going in. A miss and a follow-through finally from Gage Merriman.
I mentioned it earlier, but the Skills Center ability to play quick, to play fast pace, to play good defense, we saw them go up quickly to a 10-0 lead. And that run there, it definitely separates them from the best.
And Spears with an up and under. Dryden following through. And once again, Jaden Dryden nearly amassing a double-double here in the first half. He was 10-12 in yesterday's contest on this court. He's nearing that already. Conyers up. And he finds the block, the shot. And it should be an and one. It is.
If the train's coming through, get out the way, as they say. I mean, he tried to draw the charge. It was a good idea, but got to plant those feet, clearly moving and just unable to stand still. So moving those feet, that's going to be a block every single time, and a good play there.
It was a smart play by Conyers, too. You kind of saw him swipe to the right last minute to not get that full-body contact, and it does kind of mask the drive that you're doing. So very smart on his opportunity. He's got 12 points, by the way, in this contest. So here we go, the step-back jumper coming, and a nice basket for Horton. He has 6.
I like this. I thought they were going to press really quickly, but triple threat should definitely start to have a little more sense of urgency after the inbound.
Driving, unable to amass the ball. That was Dryden, and it's going to be a turnover.
And 9-point game. It's definitely going to be a lot of pressure. You see what Skill Center's doing. That's kind of what I was saying earlier with triple threat. They should definitely attack the inbound and make a little bit of pressure, at least hard to get past.
Under 90 seconds remain here in half number 1. It was all even for majority, but all of a sudden the Skill Center have found a weakness in the triple threat. Here's a step back three once again. That one's on the mark. Jaden Horton's got 2 threes and 10 points. Approaching the 1 minute remaining mark. It was just a 13-point advantage. It's down to 8. Spears going up, working with Dryden. That's some good defense. Here comes Horton going up, losing touch. Trying to get it up, hooks it away. And Dryden can't amass the board. Here's a 3. And it was an off-balance shot. And it should be a foul coming, and it will be on Horton. So 39-31 is the score. 40 seconds remain. As because of the bonus, we are going to go to the line. 7 total team fouls coming on the triple threat. So regardless, every foul by the triple threat now will continue sending the Skill Center to the line. And this time it should be for a 1-and-1. And remember, folks, this is only for the end of the half. All fouls reset on every single half. And the 1-and-1 unsuccessful. So a big opportunity now for the triple threat. Needing a basket to cut within 6, maybe 5. Working up top, that's Jaden Horton. He's been hot. Working alongside, shooting. It was off the mark by Vigo, out of bounds, and back to the Skill Center. And on one hand, that was an unfortunate circumstance for the triple threat. That's a big stop for the Skill Center as Miami is slowly inching their way back into this game.
That's what I was going to say with the 1-on-1. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I mean, they missed the free throw, so maybe it is a good thing, but 8-point lead.
And they can hold it for the rest of this half. Remember, no shot clock, and we're down to the last 5 anyway. Spears wants it, not going to get it. Here comes Horton going up, and a block at the last second by Conyers. Excellent job there by Conyers, he's able to swipe it out of bounds. That's going to end the half. And 39-31 is how we're going to conclude. It was all physical. It was all mental. But it was mainly the skill center of Tampa. Nonetheless, 39-31 is your score. We're going to take a break. Once again, I'm Billy Adams alongside Mike Zanetti here in this 8-point affair. And we're going to find out who wins this in about 3.5 minutes' time right here on the Florida Athletics Network. And welcome back, folks. 39-31 is your score. We are back, and we are under second half action so far. Going to get camera going here in a second. We had a bit of a difficulty with our operator, Mike Zanetti, who is coming back right away 15:35 remains, just 26 seconds removed here from this second half action. And welcome back, good sir.
I'm doing good.
We're good. It's all good. It's all good. And you don't get much break here. That's the unfortunate part.
4 minutes max.
4 minutes max. Sometimes 20 minutes in between games, just depends.
Imagine being these teams trying to make something happen, adjustments on the fly.
Well, Miami, I hope, made some adjustments because an 8-point deficit just feels like a lot considering it was 13 at one point, and the skill center just seemed to come to life. Not really even on the outside, just from a lot of inside penetration and shots making under the basket. So a foul on the floor already. Devontae Spears back at the line for the second time today. Unsuccessful in attempt number 1.
Free throws will win and lose games, and that one a little too strong.
So 0 for 1, 39-31 against the score. A chance to extend it up to 9. Unsuccessful. It's back the other way with Miami. Maybe something they need coming out of the half. Working up top. It'll be Darren Koo. Gonzalez goes up. Too strong, but following through was Dylan Jackson. It's a 6-point advantage. Miami slowly eating away at what was a 13-point lead with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. A long pass across the way, working inside. That's Dryden. Kicks it out. Kindred working with Vernon Lee. Vernon Lee matches the jersey number with that 3. It's a 9-point advantage.
That's a shot he's taken most of the time. Yesterday, very great shooter from beyond the line. And adding to this lead, just trying to match this second half from triple threat.
Going inside, and what a rejection by Conyers. Oh my gosh, I think every single court in this building heard that. How about Jamaris Conyers? Oh, and the ill-advised pass. He had an open lane with Dryden and just couldn't hit it.
Just a little bit of a missed pass, but in transition, running the floor, I mean, I did not expect that coming. That block was insane.
So 14 minutes remain. Skill Center slowly taking over once more. Triple threat. Trying to find some action in the basket. Darren Koo couldn't find it. Spears with the board. Trying to corral it in was Miami, and they could not get it. Time is 12:26 p.m. Eastern Time. We've been going at it for about 4.5 hours now and still have 3 games after.
Feels like we just started.
It does. It feels like we just started. Under 14 minutes remain here in this contest. Still anybody's game. Skill Center, though, taking over just a little thanks to this man. And Vernon Lee, he's got back-to-back threes.
I mean, he can shoot it, that's for sure. I mean, there's not much else to say. Back-to-back threes for the man in a few possessions.
This is what Vernon Lee did yesterday. He had 15 points in his game on this floor, and it was from back-to-back threes and a couple acrobatic finishes, and a nice finish coming from Darren Koo. That was much needed for Miami.
He was open, hand down, there's a man down.
So approaching 13 minutes remaining, you see Vernon Lee there guarded by Gonzalez. Gonna take his time, he knows he has it. Lee, step back, and just off the side iron, just might have slipped out of the hand.
You could say heat check, you could say probably slipped. There was a defender on him, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. It was a tough shot.
He has every right to feel himself. I mean, he made back-to-back threes.
Right.
He's got 8 points in this game. He's doing an outstanding job trying to match his 15 from the other day. Here's an open lane. That's a great pass and a great finish from Diaz.
And this is still an 8-point game, so keep in mind, I mean, if Skill Center slows it down, that's triple threat's time to pounce.
Triple threat slowly eating away once again. The lead was just 12. It's back to 8, folks. Here's Spears fighting for a possession. And it's going to be a foul, this time on Jaden Vigo, his first of the afternoon. Already the 4th team foul, might I note, too, for Miami.
Outside look.
There it is. Another open shot coming from the duo of Conyers and Vernon Lee. 48-37. It's back to 11. Again, Miami making the right plays and getting some stops and some baskets. just needing a little more help on the defensive side. There's another great offensive possession, finding some open space in the paint. Great hesitation, great look, great pass. Dylan Jackson with an outstanding finish.
I mean, that's the thing. Basketball's a game of runs. Triple threat looks great coming out of halftime, but if Skill Center continues to match them, it's almost like it doesn't matter. So it's definitely frustrating to have such a good transition. You're feeling good, you're passing the ball, you're moving it around, but then stuff like that, it's like, what are you doing?
And Vernon Lee had a good look, but a better look came from Davian Kindred. Kindred with a nice putback. Here's an open jumper, and another three coming from Diaz. And Mike, how do you feel about the timeout?
I like it. I feel like it's a perfect time to answer, right? If that layup doesn't happen, now it's a 5-point game. 7, 6, 5. Yeah, I can count. So 5 points if that layup doesn't go, right? So they're feeling good right now. I like the timeout to regroup and kind of try and change something on defense. Defense has been the main problem. Skills Center is just peppering shots, and with Conyers, everybody making threes, it's going to be hard to eat back in that lead. I think 8 points is the best you're going to have at a chance to kind of close the gap and call a timeout here and make a difference on your defensive adjustments, whether it's a half-court trap or moving the ball. Maybe someone, I mean, not really offensively, because they continue to move the ball really well offensively. I think this is a defensive timeout, considering they just made that shot.
So 50-42 is your score. 8 points is the advantage, but this team not going anywhere in triple threat. The 22 of Dylan Jackson and 0 of Rafael Diaz have been responsible for trading baskets on their own team and keeping themselves within striking distance on this Skill Center squad. But on the other side, got to give a lot of shout out to Vernon Lee. He's got 8 points in this half alone, trying to take over and help his team eclipse a double-digit lead to have some control. Here we go. And Kindred, it might have been blocked. Kindred watching it fall away after Dryden's shot. Working up top, there's Diaz. Too strong, Dryden grabs the board.
I didn't like that shot. You got to take your time there. You got the ball back with 8 seconds.
And there's Conyers.
Points. And now the lead's double digits. So
Conyers with a moving floater.
That's the reason of that. Slow it down, that possession. Now you kind of, I don't hate the 3 because you're down 10, see?
There's Horton. Yeah. We saw him do that plenty of times in half number 1. What an excellent pass. No goaltending.
I don't think it was. It didn't hit the backboard.
Interesting. I don't know. That was a close call.
I mean, that's
and another rejection by Spears. That's the 5th offensive board of this possession. It finally rolls out of bounds. How about Devontae Spears?
About that not goaltending call. The ball did not reach the top of its peak. If the ball is still going up, that's blocked, it's blocked. If it's coming down, that's where they're called goaltending. So I think it was definitely close in that aspect, but it did not hit the backboard. So I think it's a good no call.
See, from my peripheral and how fast it moved, I kind of thought it had hit the backboard, but if it didn't, I mean, that makes complete sense. As we have another foul on the floor, and it'll be on Dylan Jackson, his 3rd.
I will say the triple threat bench not happy about that call.
So going to the line, it would be Vernon Lee. Again, he's got 8 points in this half with a chance to make it 10. 10 points is the deficit right now for Miami. So Lee gets 9, making the lead 11. 10:08 remains here in this contest. What's even more impressive, too, 5 fouls on one end, and there are no fouls committed by Central. Second attempt now. Going to be on the way for Vernon Lee. And that is true. So Vernon Lee's got 10 in the half, and the lead is now 12. Here comes Diaz, wasting no time with Jackson. Working up top, that's Merriman. And Gage Merriman back on the board. He's got 6.
Billy, I want to just say that last entire possession of the 2 free throws, the 30 seconds that they took the time to shoot those free throws, Coach was absolutely arguing with the ref the entire time. So I just thought I couldn't have that comedic timing.
I mean, how could you not? That's when you take your time to do it, as that's a nice shot by Davian Kindred. He's got 3.
Nicely, skill center starting to pull away. I mean, we knew that they had the ability to keep their foot on the gas, but just being able to match this team has been so good. And
well, you say pull away, but Corey Galliano said, no, I got something in me. He's got 5. Here's Hemmings. He just checked in moments ago. Goes up, can't get it. How about Spears going up? And I think he got fouled. That's Galliano with the foul, his second, team 6.
I thought they were going to call shooting foul.
It was close.
Definitely on the floor. I saw contact on the arm, but interesting.
6 team fouls now on Miami, 0 for the skill center.
And you can see where the frustration's coming from.
There's Conyers. Spears able to tip it up to Lee, to Hemmings, putting it up. Too strong. How about Spears? 2 straight offensive boards, and Devontae Spears is creating opportunities. Look at him go. Not a lot of size, but a lot of strength and a lot of ups, and Devontae Spears responsible for that second chance opportunity. And Mike, even with the lead, they are not quitting on any possession.
I mean, we've seen that from this team before, and just the fight that they possess. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're up by 20 or down by 20. They're going to play the same kind of basketball that they know how. However, I look at triple threat, and it looks like they just can't keep up offensively. It's difficult to match skill center point for point because they are so good shooting, they are so good defensively, and they are so good in terms of aggressiveness, hustle, and getting those offensive rebounds. You just saw that possession. Doesn't matter about all the missed shots because they're going to follow up, they're going to follow through, and that has been the game changer.
Definitely going to need a game changer here after this timeout. 59-47 is the deficit that triple threat is facing, and there is 8:59 remaining. And we are in that territory where we got to know if 20 points is reached, the time will run regardless. So something to keep an eye on if there's a couple turnovers and a couple baskets here for Skill Center.
It could very well go the other way, too.
Right now it is going one way, though. Devontae Spears going up, unable to finish. Kindred can't get it. Hemmings got hit. I think everybody got hit on that play.
Oh, boy.
And here comes Conyers. Conyers going up and slamming it down is Jamaris Conyers. And we have a stoppage in play. Have to wait to see what that is, as we heard Conyers say he had a cramp. That's what happens when you show out, man. Sometimes it just happens. So Conyers will sit down after the emphatic slam. Coming back in is going to be Jaden Dryden.
It's also hard because you know the amount of games that they're playing. You wonder, the cramps probably have something to do with the fact that game is day 2, is a game 1. So a lot of that has to deal with the fast-paced impact of these games and just how many times you're on the floor at one time.
And Mike, this roster's thin. I mentioned it earlier, 6 people.
Bench. Yes.
6 people on this roster, so cramps are never good to hear. How about the defensive effort they're coming? Gonzalez wanted a foul. Here comes Kindred. Oh, and Kindred did not see a cutting Vernon Lee.
14-point game, but it really doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't. It feels closer.
I mean, Skill Center is dominated, but it's been very good answering from triple threat.
And there's an open lane look by Diaz. Just a much-needed basket, some kind of reassurance that you're still in this game. Here's Vernon Lee over to Spears. Spears has the hands of any kind of wide receiver in the NFL, just grabbing it out of the air. Hemmings with the shot, and he can't leave him open. He's got a couple points now.
It's almost like whatever they decide to do, whatever you can do to stop our offense, we can do it better.
Are certainly doing just that, matching point for point and then some. And Gonzalez just traveled a little too much. It's back the other way. 15 points is the lead. It could be as high as 18 on this possession.
5 more points, and there's that running clock.
7 and some change remain. The clock runs anyway. Time is running out for the triple threat, and time cannot move fast enough for the Skill Center. Hemmings had an open look. Working just a little bit cautious now on these plays. Hemmings with a step-back jumper. Just a bit short, rebound, and back the other way we go. Stolen away, but gotten back, going up, and just off the mark, Merriman corralled it in, but could not execute. Under 7 remaining. It'll be Vernon Lee up top working with Galliano. Here's Kindred up top, guarded by Merriman. Kindred with a screen from Dryden. A little bit of help and open. Hemmings just short. Hemmings gets his own miss. He's got some space. He's got a hook. And Dryden just can't get it in. A lot of good looks, and just unfortunately none of them falling.
Normally we talk about the defense and how crucial it is, but this time it's just the overpowering of the skill center offense. Their ability to crash the boards, just have 3 bodies just going always under the rim. That's huge. And that offensive side of things, that's what's winning them this game.
And right now it is helping them attain this 15-point lead. Miami needing something to fall, but again, Ashes burning to the ground with these shots. Back the other way we go, going up once again. Galliano off the mark. Dryden's got the board, and time, as we see, continues to dwindle down. We're under 6 minutes remaining. Again, 20 points would end the game at 2 minutes. It'll be Vernon Lee up top working. He's guarded by Diaz. Hemmings, we've seen him get active here in the second. Working against Galliano. He's got that left-handed space. It'll be Spears up top. Spears working on Horton. Look at the hesitation and dribbling and the poise by Spears, who nearly got that one in. Boy, regardless of the opportunity, I mean, you got to respect the game that Spears carries. Horton going up. Nice rebound there and grabbed in by Kindred. Spears with an up. How about the pass? I don't even know what I just saw.
That's a quarterback pass right there.
He's got an arm too. 17 points is the advantage.
There you go, same thing.
Just at a loss for words for what Spears just did. That was mightily impressive. As Hemmings tried to keep it in, thought he did. It went off the head of what looked like Jonathan Gonzalez. They're going to keep it, though, in the inner Miami circle.
That was a great pass. I mean, I personally love to just thread the needle as a guard myself, and it's like sometimes that cuteness can get you in trouble, but right there it worked like a charm.
Can't get too cute, but Rafael Diaz finds a way to get it back in the basket. That might be the much-needed drain that they need to maybe inch away at this deficit. So 66-52, 4:37 remains. And Coach Mike, how are we feeling about this deficit?
Which team am I? Yeah.
Let's say you're Miami and you're in a 14-point deficit. What are you feeling?
So that should put 2 and 2 together. Smart. Okay. So Miami, you're down by 14. There's 4:37 left to play. You can't have the mindset that it's over. No, I don't think anyone ever does. But in order to get back into this game, it's fast basketball. You cannot waste any seconds. This is run for the next 4:37. Full court, full trap. You have to go all in order to come back.
So 14 points. We're going to see if they can chip it away. They have done it twice in this game. It was 13 in the first half. It was 12.
It's actually 16, by the way. I don't ever count on my math.
What are you talking about?
Because the lead.
No, the lead's 14.
16.
66-52, that's 14.
4.
66-52.
I'm counting backwards.
It's 14.
All right.
I was like, wait.
Leave me alone.
No, but you were right. Don't count on your math. You were absolutely right. I was like, wait, what?
I don't remember what I said.
It is a 14-point lead, though, folks. 66-52. Somebody's got to win this game, and right now Skill Center is trending in the upward direction. They have the ball back after a recent turnover. Vernon Lee working, Dryden slamming, jamming at the HoopSeen Florida Jam, folks.
I'll tell you, that's definitely not what Triple Threat needs at this point in time.
Now it's 16, Mike, if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I knew it was going to happen.
There's Diaz. Now it's back to 14, so never mind. Again, some answers that are needed. Now some stops are going to be desired for Miami. Here's Hemmings working up. He's got some good space. The rotation by Hemmings, and mightily impressive doing it himself.
This offense is just unstoppable. You can't do anything about it.
Going up is Darren Koo, and Koo able to finish. These were the shots that were needed, I'd say, about a few minutes ago. Dryden going up. And the rotation in midair for Dryden is successful.
The offenses are not the problem. It's the amount of defense of lack of.
There it is again. You mentioned it.
They're just
Offense
training.
and defense just not meshing at the moment.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe it's just an all-star game or they're just running up and down the floor and having layups. I don't know.
You said run, run, run.
I mean, yeah, that's what we expected.
There's Kindred
Not
going
from
up.
Skill Center, though.
Kindred taking a lot of contact and does get the whistle.
I didn't expect Skill Center to continue their run. Like, as a coach, do you keep the foot on the gas or do you take it off? Like, that's the thing. You don't want to trip up your team's momentum. You want to keep the identity, especially with a lot of time on the clock, but maybe with 3 minutes left in the game and you're up by as many as 14, that's where you have to kind of settle down, slow down, and look at the scoreboard and say, hey, let's not, make any turnovers or make this game closer than it should be, right?
And that is correct. 15 points is now the deficit. Again, it's sat around the 12 to 16 mark for the last few minutes. 3:24 remains. And we do have to mention, too, 7 fouls now being committed on Miami. That means every foul from now on is a bonus foul, which means a 1-and-1 and eventually a 2 free throw trip for every single foul committed for the Skill Center.
Maybe now they just heard me, and now they're going to try and slow things down and dribble out the clock.
Missed the second attempt. Was Kindred, but they got the offensive rebound. It's Vernon Lee working up top. He's got 10 points in this half. He'll be guarded there by Jackson. Lee in the ISO formation. He wants it himself. Throws it away, though. That's a costly turnover. Here comes Galliano. And Galliano with a key basket. That's what you need if you're Miami.
13. But it's going to be tough with the Skill Center slowing it down.
Back the other way. This game has been nothing short of entertaining. Kindred going up. Spears hesitated. And another costly turnover. They're starting to add up just a little bit here.
You got time. 2:37, 13 points. I mean, I've seen crazier. Just saying. I don't know.
We've seen some crazy stuff happen this weekend. And again, there's been a lead of 12, 13, and 16 that have been cut short by this Miami team. Nothing they are unable to accomplish as Diaz took that shot, really just forcing it upon himself. Hemmings trying to get it. Here comes Kindred. It'll be Hemmings working with Dryden. Dryden with some open space. Spinning, dishing, and finishing, unable to. It looked like it was Hemmings and Kindred. There's a long three from Horton. And Horton quieting the crowd just a little bit there. It's a 10-point advantage. There's Dryden. And Dryden stamps his mark of approval with 1:51 remaining.
The timeout.
That was a close call for a second. We saw Miami get a little bit of a run, but I think Dryden might have said, you know what? We got to stop this.
And you see why both these teams made it as far as they did in the tournament. So it's fun to watch, but at the same time, the offenses is what got them here. The defense is what's going to finish it. And I think Skill Center's had the slightly better defense, but honestly, they just had such a hard offense to stop. I mean, triple threat, you see, it's a 75-63 game. It's a high-scoring game.
Yeah, offense has not been the problem, folks. Defensively, I mean, we just saw it out of the last time out. They came out and they scored 10 straight points back to back to back. So again, just finding open lanes on each side. But again, also a lot of points and a lot of matchups between these two teams that are evening out. So nonetheless, as much as Miami came to life, the Skill Center came back to life as well.
The fact that it's a 12-point lead and Skill Center is pressing, that just shows you the type of team that they are.
They're pressing. They have 6 guys on their roster, and they're leading. Nothing short of effort. Here comes Hemmings going up. Hemmings trying to finish with Conyers. Conyers getting it up. Once again, gets 3 offensive rebounds, and he's able to reset with 90 seconds remaining. Here's Conyers to Hemmings, and that's just beautiful basketball.
Like, they don't need to run as quick as they are, especially up by this many points, but I love the aggressiveness to keep it on.
There's Diaz from long range. Keeping them within striking distance. That's what you need, a little 3 like that. There's the full court press, no surprise from Miami. Conyers gets it up across court. Hemmings, nowhere to be found. Puts it up and puts it in. 13 points is the advantage. Hemmings has 10. Going up is Darren Koo, and Darren Koo able to finish with under 50 seconds remaining.
I mean, it's still an 11-point game. But, like, you look at, like, how many points have been scored. It's incredible because, like, the possessions that just happened as far as for triple threat, the press that they have to break is difficult. And, you know, the trap that they have, Skill Center just walked right down the court like they weren't even anywhere near them. So it's tough. But sometimes that's your worst enemy is the trap because you could just walk right past it, past the layup. So that's kind of what we've been seeing in terms of these runs. And both teams are running. So
now the interesting thing becomes, yes, there's under 50 seconds remaining. If Miami were to get a quick stop or two and some baskets, this is easily a 7-8 point game and a couple possessions away from a tie. Got to execute as he goes right off the face of Horton. Vernon Lee taking it up court. Just a lot of passing, not a lot of dribbling. Conyers has it. He'll kick it out. And they are going to foul. That's Hester. I heard that one, Mike.
I did as well.
You heard that?
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
We're not going to repeat it.
Not going to repeat that, but 79-68 is the score. Game is
I think it'd be funnier if they did win, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No. It'd be ironic after what we just heard.
I mean, not really. It'd be funny, though.
80-68 is the score, though, 12 points. The largest lead has been 16 in this game. And now it'll go back to 13. Miami not wasting any time. Every second is precious at this point. There's Diaz, steps back. He's done this a couple times. Unsuccessful for that trip. Are they going to foul? We'll see. They are trapping, though. Got to get it across the court. And they do, and they are just going to dribble it out. 81-68. It was a back-and-forth affair for a while, folks, but Skill Center, once they got a run going, they never looked back, and they were able to close out in a 13-point advantage. And it was just good basketball all around, Mike. A lot different from our last game.
Yeah, last game there was not a lot of points scored. It was like 25-50 as far as I remember, not the final score, but I mean, it was a 25-point deficit. And I mean, both teams were able to match offensively. It was just the firepower offensively of Skill Center, and they played a little bit better defense at the end of it. I mean, triple threat could not stop Skill Center at all. That was crazy, the amount of points that were scored in the little time that was taken out. So, I mean, you just got to credit both teams and honestly learn what you can from it. Try and maybe scheme up a couple different things defensively. That's my motto, is defense wins games, and I think it shows there how talented offenses are, and it's so difficult to stop teams sometimes, but at the same time, there's always an answer for defense, and that's, I think, the biggest key is no matter how good an offense is, you can draw something up to stop them.
And 81-68 is the score, so winning that championship side was the Skill Center out of Tampa in a 13-point victory. Another championship being decided with another Skill Center team, and they will take on a Liberty Edge team that we actually got to watch earlier in this contest. So 8.5 minutes until our next contest, and we will be back right here alongside myself is Mike Zanetti. I'm Billy Adams, right here on the Florida Athletics Network.